Nissan Canton employee is coming forward and on camera about how the company is handling the COVID-19 pandemic. 12 News' Jade BULECZA joins us now from the newsroom with more. Jade?
Byron, our newsroom gets calls and emails from families and Nissan workers themselves, but many people want to remain anonymous for fear they may lose their jobs. But now one man is speaking out to speak up for his fellow workers.
Robert Hathorn assembles motors at Nissan in Canton for commercial vehicles. He says one of his coworkers tested positive for COVID-19, which prompted him to get tested.
This happened last week. We got a word from our coworker, that tested positive or whatever, and HR didn't let us know that he tested positive. So once he called one of my coworkers and let us know, the next day I went ahead and got my test.
Hathorn says they are not supposed to come to work while tests are pending.
HR called me, wanted me to come to work, which was outside of the policy because basically we can't come back, not supposed to, until the test results saying that we're negative. And on the phone call, they told me not to worry about going to medical, just go straight to, work on the line.
He said while HR told him to come to work, his supervisor told him to stay home, but for others that wasn't the case.
Workers have been said that HR has been calling them while test results is pending, and I've got word last night that they called 3 people in. It was 3 people came to work last night who had tested positive, and they hadn't gotten retested yet, before they came back to work. But they told them if they didn't come back to work, that they wouldn't get paid over the shutdown the next 2 weeks.
He's calling on the Human Resources Department to better handle the COVID-19 situation. He says it's chaotic and they deserve more pay.
And I really think, to be honest, we should be getting a hazardous pay because of the conditions we're working in, and we're not getting compensated for that. Our bonus that we normally get, which was normally close to $3,000 every year, we didn't even get it this year. Instead, they gave us $1,000 welcome back payment. So we would like some type of compensation.
Now, the spokesperson for Nissan says if someone has a pending test, they are to remain at home until that test comes back negative, and they are paid during that time. Hathorn was not part of the contact tracing after the positive test in his zone, so Nissan says they wouldn't have recommended him for testing based on CDC guidelines of being in close contact of 6 feet or less for more than 10 minutes. And Hathorn says he got a test himself and he was cleared. He says he was paid for the days he stayed home. Nissan says as a thank you for being off for 3 months, they gave employees that welcome back payment, and a formula-based bonus program goes into effect July 1st. In the newsroom, Jade BULECZA, 12 News.